In 2014, three friends came together to establish a small little company called Sur-Ron. By 2018, the Triad's R&D finally came to fruition as they released their first ever bike, the Sur-Ron Lightbeat X. If you're into motorcycles, adventure, or extreme sports, you'll know what I'm talking about. Shoot, if you even have an Instagram, you've probably seen the half-helmet, baggy clothes preteens, not even old enough to drive a car, dancing on the seat, riding better than you could ever dream of. All of this popularity has encouraged many motorcyclists, cyclists, or simply PEV enthusiasts to join the overpowered e-bike world, myself included. But not only stunters, dirt riders, and your grandma have their eyes on these bikes. Your friendly neighborhood law enforcement does too. These overpowered e-bikes have never been technically street legal and have lived in a bit of a gray area, as cops are usually baffled by the fact that it makes no sound and are unsure on how to regulate them. However, after surging popularity, police chases, and some wrecks, there's been a crackdown by law enforcement, with bikes being impounded and riders facing legal consequences, including arrests. Well, today I have a solution to this problem. This is the NIU XQi3, a unique looking bike that looks straight out of Tron. This thing's looks definitely grab your attention, but what I want to know is this bike actually a competitor in 2025? Right off the bat, it definitely stands out with its unique hyper-modern design. The angular frame, the interesting side pieces, and LED lighting, make this thing look unique. And to be honest, coming from dirt bikes, I wasn't really sure about how I thought this thing looked at first, but seeing it more in person, I low-key kind of like it, even though at first I thought it was a little goofy. But the reason this thing has lights to begin with is because this is actually street legal from the factory. It comes with an MCO as well as a full VIN number and all the necessary docs you need to take this to the DMV, get it registered, and so on. This bike sports an 8 kilowatt motor powered by a 72 volt, 32 amp hour removable battery. Now, NIU claims that this has a range of 49 to 55 miles and a top speed of 49 miles per hour. All of which we'll test, but sounds a little bit underwhelming for a 72 volt battery. You've got 19-inch wheels both front and rear, just like a standard Sur-Ron. Won't lie, these are pretty skinny wheels and tires. If you look at the rear swing arm, it feels like there's a little room for a wider tire, but is what it is. Surprised these didn't come with Supermoto since it is a street legal bike though. The bike does have KK suspension front and rear, as well as a linkage, which is really important on these bikes. We've got DOT rated brakes, both front and rear, so it's DOT fluid. Not gonna get brake fade like standard Sur-Ron brakes. They are MTD calipers though, so something worth noting, you probably will go through pads pretty quickly. This thing has a ton of specs and features, so I'm gonna run you guys through them real quick, and then we'll get on the test ride. The bike comes with a few different key options, from standard to RFID tags and an RFID card you can put in your wallet. To use the keys, it's just on the side of the bike, which is interesting placement. NFC is right on the top of the bike, and you actually can even use a phone app to turn the bike on. So you just connect via Bluetooth and it turns the bike on as well. The phone app also has GPS, so you can actually track all of your rides and also see where your bike is at all times. The app also allows you to customize settings on the bike, so you know I went in and already put this in the quote-unquote wild mode. To actually start the bike to ride it, you pull on the brake and press that green button. Green means go. You can see the motor is now live and the bike will actually ride. You press it again. Red means stop, so it's disengaged. Same practice again to start the bike. I was a little confused by this at first, or if you put down the kickstand, it also goes into red park mode. Pulling the trigger in on the right side engages turbo mode, which we'll test on our ride. Pushing it down enters different lap times. You can actually set a lap timer on the screen of this bike. The left side resets the lap timers. You have two modes, both eco and sport, which you can switch just on this dial here. Very satisfying to move. Makes funny sounds too. Comes with a USB-C charger, so you can plug your charger right in here and charge your phone, GoPro, any sort of batteries. It also has this unique safety feature where if this little magnet piece is not connected, the bike will not work at all. It comes with a little lanyard you can attach this, so it's essentially like a jet ski or a snowmobile safety kill switch. I don't love this though, because it would be easy to probably kick out when you're doing combos. However, there is an extra one under the seat as well. Again, this bike is meant to be street legal, so you've got functioning turn signals both front and rear. They're super bright, they're LED. The fender on the rear is a bit odd. We will absolutely scrape that doing wheelies, so just something to note. You'd probably want to move that if possible. This bike also does have some pretty cool security features. First off, you have a lock on the fork legs, so the wheel will stay locked. You can't just roll it away in a straight line. The bike will also sound an alarm as well as flicker the lights if someone tries to roll the bike away while it's just sitting on the side of the road. One downside to that feature though is you definitely have to unplug the battery when you're transporting the bike, because otherwise it'll yell at you the whole drive like my bike was doing. Now guys, I've set myself a few goals in testing of this new XQi3. One, this is meant to keep up in traffic. You know, it's even got a license plate holder, so can it actually keep up with traffic on real roads? Two, America's average commute is 27 miles, so can this thing commute there and back? And three, arguably most important of all, can we wheelie this thing? Is it a stunt bike? Now, to test all these questions, I decided that today I'm gonna ride this new bike up to my favorite cheesesteak spot in NIU. Does anyone else think this thing kind of reminds them of Husqvarna Svartbilen 401? Kind of looks like one. But anyways, the cheesesteak spot is about 9 miles away, so we'll ride all the way up there. There should be some on-road and some off-road testing available. Guys, I didn't even bring my charger on this ride, so this will be a true testament of the battery life. Hopefully we don't have to push this thing home at any point. Guys, also something I want to mention, this is not a sponsored video. NIU did send me this bike for free to review, but they didn't tell me anything I have to say good or bad about the bike, so I'm just going to talk about what I think about it. First thing I noticed off the bat is this seat it's pretty long, pretty stiff, I will say as well. It's not a very cozy seat. I do like that it's long. This could be good for like wheelie combos and everything, but it is a stiff seat. It literally feels like a plank of wood. It feels like you sit on top of the bike. Like I feel very much high up off the ground. The seat height on this bike is definitely taller than the Talaria, but you sit on the bike as opposed to in it, which is an interesting sensation. I really feel like I'm sitting on top of the bike. I'd say the bike does feel pretty comfortable. I actually like the bars. Usually I don't like stock bars. The way that these swing back, I actually generally like. Now guys, this is definitely a bit of a heavier bike. I think it comes in at 167 pounds, but that extra weight can be good and bad. Like right now, it's good in that it feels like a really planted bike when you're on the street. It does come with these dirt tires, which just don't look like they belong on this bike, to be honest. They're super narrow, and you notice that too when you're cornering with these types of knobbies. Oh, there's actually a trail right up here. We might as well take this thing off-road. This does have full KKE suspension, so it should be pretty good suspension. The bike is definitely heavier though, so you got to think about that. There we go. Gotta get off this thing and put on my extra set of gloves. Guys, it's 35 degrees out here. I hope you appreciate me getting out in the cold weather to get you guys this content. But this is a good opportunity to show you how you actually take the battery out. You undo this, you press this button. Hear that little pop? It pops the seat up. Then you undo this latch, lift this up, and then you just take off this connector and pull the battery out. Now I will say the 2025 version of this bike, I spoke with NIU and they said it will come with a charging port just like in the side here, so you won't have to take out the battery. You'll obviously have the option to take it out, but you won't have to. Yeah guys, so the coolest part about this bike in my opinion, or at least the most unique, is that you can make this thing fully street legal. So the way it works is basically when you buy the bike, you get it with an MSO and the bike has a full VIN on the side of the bike. So basically all you need to do is you take the MSO, you just need to create a bill of sale, you take all that info, you go to the DMV, you just need to call and get insurance on the bike, and they will actually issue you a moped license plate. So it's not a motorcycle license plate, it's a moped license plate. So you don't even need a motorcycle license to ride it. You just need a standard driver's license to ride a moped. Now I do want to test some of the speed capabilities here. I am in sport mode, which is apparently 8 kilowatts and 10.8 kilowatts peak when we use this turbo button. So I'm getting 48, really just stuck at 48. Tune is a little interesting. But she wheelies. Of course she wheelies. Guys, I want to pull over real quick, I guess, at this graveyard to show you another ridiculous feature that this bike has. You hear that? The bike has a freaking speaker, dude. That's so funny. The bike is reading out navigation. Ready? Let's go into boost and take off. Alright, so when you have it at 10 kilowatts, it gets up to speed pretty quick. I mean, honestly, I just wish it could do like maybe 55. As far as power, it's definitely a little bit underwhelming, especially for a 72 volt, especially for the motor, because the motor could definitely push upwards of like 12 kilowatts, I'd say. Still wheelies, obviously. I did chat with Tony over at NIU, and he informed me that they did do a couple of like custom tunes for these bikes, and they were able to push upwards of like 12 kilowatts, I think. And I don't know, like it doesn't have that 72 volt snap that I'm used to. Maybe that's partially because it's a heavier bike. Partially, I think it's just the tune as well. I truly think if you were to just get like a nuclear controller and put it on here, push a little more power, the thing would be great. And then you could make your own tune. Like I'd make it similar to my XXX tune. Oh, Ninok, let's go. To be fair, I do just need to get comfortable with the tune. Now, as far as price goes on this thing, this bike costs less today than a Sur-On Light BX, than an E-Ride Pro 4 MX-5. This thing comes in at $39.99. Under 4K for a fully street legal bike that's 72 volt, 8 kilowatts. I think just with a controller, it would be perfect. But then the beauty is, you don't have to jump through any hoops. You just take it to a DMV, and the thing is street legal. How should you do burnouts? Yeah, she'll spin the wheel. Could I actually get a Diet Coke too? I'm sorry. ConnorG. You too. Take care. Whew. Well, I will call D'Alessandro's a smashing success. Guys, top cheesesteak in the city, bar none. Hold up, I'll come back. Woo, now we're getting the drop back. It's called a NIU. NIU. NIU? Yeah, and it's like, it's the whole alphabet. It's like a XQi3.
This is my first time seeing it.
Yes, sir, that's me.
Oh, snap.
I'll put you in the video, bro. Check it out. Hey, have a good one, bro. I love the display too, guys. I don't know what you guys think. Oh yeah, I forgot there's like a lap timer. Not that we would really use that. Another thing that I forgot to mention is this is actually a direct drive. This is a direct drive motor with a gearbox. So it's similar to like an MX-3, MX-4. You see the oil levels here, and you just need to do a oil change. I think it's every 2,500 miles or so. But with that gearbox, the bike is so quiet. Now guys, if you do want to buy this bike, there's a few ways you can do it. You can get it online at newmobility.com/US. I'll link it down in the description. Or there are dealers across the country that carry these. If you order it online, you can either ship it direct to your house or ship it to a dealer where they'll assemble it for you. I'll put this in Ultra Boost. See if we can wheelie it at like 20. Yeah, pulled it up at 25. The display and bars, like all this stuff on it, definitely makes you feel like you're riding a real motorcycle. I do quick want to see if this thing can circle. Come on, pickups. Maybe I was wrong about the power side, because we're doing 48 now easily, and we're at 18%. All right, I'll see you guys in the house. All right, guys, so we made it home. Battery on the bike is currently at 14% with 4 miles to go. So we rode 32 miles. So let's talk about how we answered my questions for this video. Can the bike keep up in traffic? I think that's an absolute yes. It'll cruise easily at 45 miles per hour, upwards of 48, 49 with the turbo we found. So it absolutely can keep up. There's enough torque that you can get off the line fast. You can keep up with cars, get yourself out of sticky situations. Can it handle the average commute? We rode 32 miles, and I will say a lot of those miles were fast. We tried to mimic an actual commute where you're going high speed the most of the time, and it only got about 32 miles. The bike estimates it could have gone another 4, so we're looking at like 36 miles one way. So just something to consider if you ride, let's say 20 miles to work, you probably will want to bring a charger so you can charge this while you're there and then subsequently ride it home. Lastly, can it wheelie? Of course it can wheelie. It's a 72 volt, 8 kilowatt bike. It can wheelie. You just have to get used to the tune, used to the weight of the bike and the feel, but it absolutely can wheelie. I think if you want to buy this to wheelie it, you just want to put on some Supermoto wheels, and I think eventually get a controller so you can better fine tune the power and push a little bit more power out of it. Guys, definitely let me know down in the comments what you think of this bike. Do you think it looks cool? I think it looks pretty cool. Let me know what you think of the performance down below. Let me know if you think it's something we should keep on the channel, or should we rotate in a newer, bigger bike? Definitely let me know. But all in all, I definitely think this is a sweet bike. Big shout out to NIU for sending this over. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Otherwise, I will catch you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost to 100K, that YouTube plaque. So otherwise though, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.